Okay, now we are live.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome to One Mark Solution. I would like to tell all my viewers that One Mark Solution is a big platform where you can find classes 6 to 12, all subjects, chapter-wise, 1 mark questions. Now, today we have our webinar of class 11th Business Studies and chapter 1, Nature and Purpose of Business. And we have in our studio our today's resource person, Madam Anju Pramod Dubey. She is PGT in Commerce and in Meridian Mahathpuri School, Hyderabad. She has a good experience of teaching accountancy and business studies. She has completed MPhil and PhD in business administration and also qualified NET in business administration. Her 25 research papers are published in ISBN Journal and at ISNN. So before handing over the command to Ma'am Anju, I would like to request all my viewers that please like and share this video and subscribe the channel so that you will get the notification of next webinar on time. So over to Ma'am Anju. Ma'am, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Seema ma'am. And I thank One Mark Solution as well for providing me a platform to have a webinar like this. And it's quite useful for students and whoever is because of the changes in the CBSE examination pattern these days, students must focus because as per the present situation, because of the global pandemic, the question paper pattern has changed significantly, and because of that, there is an equal proportion or equal importance for multiple choice or 1 mark questions as well. So if you have your business studies paper for 80 marks, then you definitely 50% of it will be 1 mark questions, and those 1 mark questions, they have the equal weightage in the total overall marks. So students should understand clearly that how they can score 100% in those 1 mark questions. So my objective is that I want everybody or all the students, whoever is going to be participating or whoever is attending, or if you're going to see it offline, it doesn't matter, but you should be able to understand the key aspects that you have to keep in mind while answering 1 mark questions. Do not lose your focus. And as ma'am said, that for today's session we are going to do it for 11th graders, and it is for chapter 1 business studies. The chapter 1 that you have is fundamentals of business, and we are going to cover up 1 mark questions based on that particular chapter. I'm not going to explain you the entire chapter, but we are going to focus only on 1 mark questions that you might get from this chapter from CBSE's point of view. What all specific subtopics or subheadings that you must concentrate in this chapter so that you can score 100% in your 1 mark questions. Okay, those 1 mark questions could include multiple choice questions. They could be true false, they could be match the following, or they could be even definition type or 1 word answers, fill in the blanks, anything. It could be a it's a combination of all of these. It's not that only multiple choice or MCQs will be there. Definitely you will have true false, you'll have fill in the blanks, you'll have match the following. So it will be a combination. So you all should know what all patterns are going to be there. Now I'm going to share my screen, and on that I'm going to share my screen, and we'll continue with that shared screen. Okay, just give me a moment. I'll just start sharing my screen. Okay. Ma'am, can you just confirm if you are able to see my screen? Once you are able to see it, you just let me know.
No. Ma'am, it's not shared yet.
Okay. I'm just trying to see. Just a minute.
Okay.
I think now it should be visible.
Not still,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Now it's
No,
visible.
it's going. Sorry. No.
Yeah, kindly put it on slideshow mode.
I will put it, sir. Once we start with the questions, I will put it on
Okay.
that mode also.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you very much. So, as I told you, that today's session it's going to be focused only for 11th grade business studies chapter 1, that is fundamentals of business, and specifically we are going to focus only on 1 mark questions. But before we enter into it, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the business studies syllabus that we have for 11th grade. And this is how the entire marking scheme is divided. 80 marks we will have theory questions, and 20 marks we will have for project. It's a project based learning so wherein the students will be asked to prepare a project, and out of these 80 marks, each chapter, the number of periods and the marks that are allocated for each chapter, these are here. And the chapter that we are going to take up is the first one, that is fundamentals of business, and that's a part of your that's a specifically portion of your part A of the entire of the textbook of business studies. And this chapter has great significance because when you move from 10th to 11th grade, and when students select business studies as one of their subject, they are not aware with the basic terminologies that are useful for business studies students. And because you all move from a general or common background to a specific specialized background, some of you select science, some of you select commerce, and some of you go to humanities stream. So this is like the basic fundamental chapter in which you're going to learn a lot of terminologies related to business, which you might not have used earlier. So there is a little bit more concentration needed for this chapter. And the first chapter that includes your fundamentals of business, and the next chapter is forms of business organizations. Including these two, you have total 16 marks from this chapter. The questions will be there for your half yearly or for your final exam. This carries a great weightage. 20% of the entire syllabus is based on these two chapters. Okay, however, we are going to take only one part of it. And before I move ahead, there are some deleted portions for business studies grade 11. But however, you can notice that for unit 1 there is no deletion. Only from unit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we have deletions for part A. Part B, I am not discussing the deleted portions right now, since unit 1 doesn't have any deletion. So I'm going to take it as it is. There is no deleted portion from that particular chapter. And regarding this, the blueprint that we have for question paper design, so we have the question papers designed on the base of remembering and understanding. Then we have questions based on applications. So here we are going to learn about here we are going to apply the knowledge that we have learned. Application based, case based questions will be there. And then we have another category of questions where we will have analyzing and analysis, evaluation, and creating category of questions. So overall, the entire question paper is of 80 marks, and you'll be allocated 3 hours for that. Now, when we come to this this is actually when we come to this chapter over here, we had to learn about the history and trade. This specific portion is not covered up because as per the CBSE textbook, it is not there in the portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up business, the questions that are related to business meaning and characteristics, business profession, employment. These concepts I'm going to cover up in my questions. And what are the objectives of business, classification of business activities. We have different types of business activities, that is, they are classified into industry and commerce. And then we have industries. When we talk, we have primarily three categories of industries, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary, their meaning, and then subgroups. What is commerce, what is trade, what is internal trade, what is external trade, wholesale, retail, auxiliaries to trade, like we have banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communication, and advertising. These are all the sub concepts, subtopics that we are going to cover up in today's webinar. And lastly, the one important topic, that is business risk. This is not going to be too much important, but you should just know that how it relates to every business organization, because uh, it is deleted as of now from the CBSE syllabus. However, basic things related to risk you all should know, because when you do business, you cannot escape risk. It will be compulsorily associated with your business for sure. Okay, so as I told you that when we do 1 mark questions, we do have MCQs, we do have fill in the blanks, we do have true false, we do have match the following. Sometimes you might be given questions related to arranging in correct sequence. Sometimes there will be descriptive types. Under descriptive types, you can have one word answer, one sentence answer, or your opinions might be asked, or anything like that, where you have a very short answer, maximum of one sentence, not more than that. Okay, so now let us start with the presentation mode. I'm going to shift to presentation mode now. Slideshow mode. Okay, so this is the first question that we are taking up. That is, which of the following is not an economic activity? So here the options that are given to you are production, social service, professional, and trading in goods. Now, whenever we do 1 mark questions, we have to concentrate. We have to concentrate on each and every word of the question. See over here, the word not is given. Not has to be focused very clearly. Yes, at times students in a rush, they do not read the question carefully, and later on they regret that, no ma'am, oh so I'm so sorry, I did not see the word not, and because of that I selected a wrong answer. So because of that, please read the questions once or twice, at 2 times at least you read it, so that you can have the correct question in your mind. You can have placed the correct question in your mind, and then you see the options. So the first question, it relates to which of the following is not an economic activity. So we all know that all the human activities, they are categorized into economic and non-economic activities. And economic activities are all those activities that are undertaken with the objective of earning money, and non-economic activities are the ones that are taken up with the objective of social service, self-satisfaction, self-motivation, or anything like that. There, no expectation of money is there. Okay, so when I say not an economic activity, it means any out of these activities, which one is non-economic activity. So production, it is done for sale purposes, so it is related to money. Social service is, yes, we don't expect anything in return when we do social service. Professionals, they do charge money. Trading in goods, also money is involved. So social service is the only option which is relevant over here, which is kind of non-economic activity, in which people don't expect money in return for whatever they are doing. So the correct answer over here is social service. Okay, and here we have the right answer. Product that is Which of the following is not an economic activity? So social service is not an economic activity, because it is a non-economic activity, as it is undertaken without any intention of earning money in return. So when you do social service, when you help someone, when you donate something, when you do any charity, you don't expect any monetary returns, monetary gains out of that. That's why it is called as a non-economic activity, or not an economic activity. Okay, now we move on to the next question. The next question that we have over here is, which of the following is not a business activity? Okay, so when I say not a business activity, like product, the option again here, the stress has to be on the word not a business activity. The not word has to be kept in mind very clearly. Not a business activity, it means out of these 4 options, one of them doesn't fit here. So which one doesn't fit here, we will see that. So business activity, when we talk, it is actually an activity which is undertaken on a continuous basis for the satisfaction of human needs and wants. And there you try to do that activity on a continuous basis for earning profit. Okay, so based on all of those features that you have learned about what are the business activities and what are the features of business, based on that, if you try to see production of goods, it is a business activity. transportation is a business activity, because when you do transport something, you have to pay for it. Exchange of goods, that is something where you do barter system, where you give one commodity and you take back one commodity. And the last one is work in a factory for wages. So over here, work in a factory for wages, that is also a part of that's the only thing which you should not consider over here, because rest all the three options that you have on top, they are all done with the intention of business. Okay, only work in a factory is not a business, it is actually an employment. Okay, when you go and join and work in a factory, it is basically because you want to earn money in the form of salary or wages. And in case of business activity, we do them to earn profit. In case of factory, if you're working in a factory, it is not for earning profit, but actually you're doing it for earning your salary or wages. So that's the point which makes it different from all other 3 points over here. The next question that we have, it's also a multiple choice. We are going to have almost 20 questions that are multiple choice questions, and then we will have a second category of questions. So over here, the question that is states, it's which of the following is the characteristic of a business? We have learned about the various characteristics of business. These are the 4 options that are given to you. Production is done, exchange for sale, risk element, all of the above. Okay, so when we do business, yes, we do involve production. And why do we do production? Because we want to sell it to someone else for a profit, and there is always a risk involved. So over here, production is also an answer, exchange for sale is also a part of it, and risk element is also part of it. So the best option suitable over here is all of the above, because all of these characteristics are a part of your business. So the right answer is all of the above. So you have to select that, not only A or only B or only C, because here all 3 combined together give you the correct answer. So we selected option D as our correct answer. Okay, the next question that we have is oil refinery and sugar mills are classified under which industry? So in this chapter, we learned about the various types of industries. We have primary, secondary, and tertiary. And then under primary also, we have different subcategories. If you talk about oil refinery and sugar mills, they will be under which category? So you have the options that are given to you: primary, secondary, tertiary, and the fourth option is none of the above. So all of you should know that when we talk about primary industries, they are basically with the ones that are directly related to nature, extraction and mining, and any natural resource which you take up for business directly, that relates to primary industry. However, when you get into refining, further processing it, or making it further adding to its utility, that becomes a part of your secondary industry. And oil refinery, as you get oil in crude form, and then that crude oil gets to be refined. So crude oil, extracting crude oil is a part of primary industry. However, when we go for refining it, or when we go for a sugar mill, they are a part of your secondary industries. So the correct answer over here that you have to select is secondary industry. Oil refinery and sugar mill, they both fall under secondary industry, because they are not directly related to natural resources. Indirectly they are related. So whenever they are indirectly, or when you do any sub processing, further processing for any natural product, that becomes a part of your secondary industry. And tertiary, as you know, they are all related to services. They do not have any direct relation with production as such. Oil refinery and sugar mills can't be a part of tertiary. They are a part of secondary industry, because further processing is done. For sugar mill also, we use sugar cane as our raw material, but we process it further. So that's why it is a secondary industry. Now we move on to the next question. That is, identify the activity which does not support trade. Okay, any one activity which does not support trade. See, when I say trade, it's buying and selling of goods. Okay, so buying and selling of goods, whenever you do, it's called as trade. And for buying and selling of goods, there is, out of these four options, there is one option which doesn't belong to this category, which doesn't belong to trade. Banking is one of the activity which is provided over here as one of the option A. Insurance, mining, sorry, for this, actually by mistake the same option is taken up two times. However, we can still make out the correct answer. Banking is related to trade, because traders, when they get their money, they keep it in bank accounts, and then they need insurance services as well. However, mining is something which is not related to trade. It is actually the extraction of natural resources. So mining is not a trading activity. It is actually a primary or manufacturing industry. Okay, so the correct answer that we have over here is mining, which is not a trade. Mining is actually an industry. It is not a trade. However, banking, insurance, these services, they do support trade. Mining is not associated with trading. Okay, it is associated with manufacturing or extraction of natural resources. It's a primary industry. Okay, the next question that we have is, in which occupation people get salary or wages in return for their work? Actually, it is misspelled. The word is work. So we know that all these economic activities are categorized into three broad categories. That is, your business, profession, and employment. These are the three categories that we all know. When you do business, you get profit in return. When you do any kind of professional services, you get fees or consultation fees in return. And when you do any kind of employment, you get salary in return for that. So, as the question states, in which occupation people get salary or wages in return? So we know that if you're employment, that could be probable answer. Now let us see the options that are given to us. Yes, the first option given is employment, the second option given is business, the third option is profession, the fourth option is none of the above. So in this case, the option A is the correct one, where through employment, as occupation, people get salary or wages in return for their work. Okay. For business, people get profit as return. For profession, they get fees as return. Okay. Now the next question, that is, in which business the support service activities are categorized. So when I say support services, it includes your banking, insurance, and all that. They are the supporting services for normal operations, commercial industries, primary industries, secondary industries, or tertiary industries. So the word services itself indicates that, as I told you, that you should read each question twice. So in this case, if we read the question two times, we will be able to make out here it talks about support service activities. So the word service itself is a good hint for us to know that which industry we should select. So commercial industry, it's an industry. Primary industry, commercial will not come under here. Primary industry is related to manufacturing directly. Secondary industry is also associated with manufacturing activities. The last option that you have is tertiary. When I say tertiary, it means services. Tertiary is always associated with services. So over here, your correct answer will be tertiary industries. Okay. The next question that we have is, again, it reads out, in business, why is it essential to make profit? We all know that we do undertake business for the purpose of earning profit. But why is it essential to earn profit? What is the need for earning profit? Can't we survive without profit? So So the options that are provided to you over here is it provides a return to investors. Whoever has invested money in the business, they get return because they are taking up the business activity, they are taking up the entire responsibility for doing the business, they are getting something in return as profit. That is one reason. Then another reason could be it provides funds for future expansion or extension. And then the third reason could be it increases the reputation of a company. Now I feel that all of the answers are all of these combined together will give you the correct answer. If I take only first one, then future extension is also essential. I mean, future extension, if you want to do, you need to have sufficient profit for your future extension. And apart from that, when you make a profit, you get a good name for the company. People get to know about your company that you are earning profit on a regular basis. If you continuously have a good profitability track record, then in that case, yes, your business gets a good reputation, you have a goodwill on your name, on your business name. So that's why we must keep in mind that all of these 3 points, they are all the answers combined together will give you the correct answer. So we select the last option, that is all of the above. So that is option D over here. That's the correct answer. I hope it is clear to everyone. And see, if you select only A option, only B, or only C, it will not be correct because all of these three are combined reasons why it is essential to make a profit for any business organization. So you must keep in mind that profit is important because it's a form of return to investors. Then it helps in future extension, and it also creates a good name for the company or a good reputation of the company. Okay, the next question that we have, it relates to which of the following is a false statement. The scope of commerce is narrower than business. Commerce include trades and auxiliaries to trade. Foreign trade is purchase and sale by the traders of the same country. And the last one is traders serve as a link between producers and consumers. Now, each of these statements you have to read twice at least to get to know that which one is a false statement, which one of them is not right. So the first statement is the scope of commerce is narrower than business. Yes, it is right because business includes industry, commerce, both of them are included, both of them are part of business. So that's why commerce word is narrower in scope as compared to business term, because business is quite comprehensive. It includes commerce as one of its part. Then the second option that is given to you over here is commerce includes trade and auxiliaries to trade. Yes, commerce does include trade and auxiliaries to trade. That includes your banking, insurance, finance, and all those services. So the third option that you have over here is foreign trade is purchase and sale by the traders of the same country. Now, this is an option which is not right over here. If you read it, when I say foreign trade, foreign word itself specify that it should be between two or more countries, whereas over here in the given statement it says that foreign trade is purchase and sale by the traders of the same country. So when the same country is involved, it is not foreign trade, it is called as internal trade. That's the reason this answer should be selected by all of you, that this is a wrong statement. It is, instead of foreign trade, it should be internal trade. So internal trade is the purchase and sale by the traders of the same country. That is the correct statement. However, we have to identify the false statement. So C is the false statement. If you go to D option, it says that traders serve as a link between producers and consumers. This is also right because whatever producers are producing in different industries, traders take over from producers, and then they uh, take it forward, move it forward to wholesalers, then it goes to retailers, and then from retailers it comes to customers. So that is how it goes all about. So traders, they are a link between producers and consumers. That is also right. So only C is the is the answer, which is not correct, which is a false statement over here. And the correct statement instead of that should be internal trade is the purchase and sale by the traders of the same country. Whenever international trading is done, it is called as between two or more countries, it is called as foreign trade. If it is done within the same country, it is called as internal trade. Now we move on to next question. So here it says that it is not always true that just because a plan. Yeah. So the next question that we have is the possibilities of inadequate profits or even losses due to uncertainties are known as. So if at all you are going to face an inadequate profit situation, or you might have losses due to uncertainties. When I say the word uncertainties, as I told you, every question, every word you should read carefully. Uncertainties are the unexpected events that might arise due to any natural cause, human cause, or any other reason, something which is unexpected. If something unexpected happens, that might lead your organization to inadequate profit or losses for any reasons, that particular thing, that particular possibility is known as, first option given to you is business contingencies, the next option is business risks, the third option is business ventures, and the fourth option is none of these. So we all know that risk is the word which is associated with uncertainty. These are the two very interrelated and quite often used word, that business is full of uncertainties because and it has to face risks. Every organization has to face risks because you cannot be 100% sure, you cannot be 100% certain for what will happen in future. So whenever you do business, you have to be ready for risks, you have to be risk taking, risk bearing, you have to keep that in mind, and you must be ready to face uncertainties. Anything can happen anytime. So you should be ready for any kind of natural calamities like earthquakes, floods, fire, or anything like that. Or there could be human causes as well. Sometimes, you have factory lockouts or shutdown because of strike by employees. So all those reasons, they are the human causes. But for whatever reasons, whether it's a natural cause or a human cause, it doesn't matter. It might lead to inadequate profit or losses, and that is the right answer. The word risk is there, and that risk and uncertainty, these are quite interrelated to each other. So we select the option B as the correct option, that is business risks. Keep in mind that uncertainties and risks are always associated with business. Okay. The next question that we have is, which of the following may not be a factor behind starting a business? So whenever you start a business, what could be one of the factor which could not be behind start, what could not be the reason behind that? So you all should keep in mind that we have to think over here that what could be the reasons when we start a business. The first one is routine workload, the second one is size of the firm, third one is finance, and the fourth one is location of the business. So we know that whenever we start a business, we must keep in mind that size of the firm matters a lot to us. We do consider this factor significantly. We do not ignore this factor. Then the next option that we have is finance. That is, finance also is one of the major factor that has to be kept in mind, because all your operations, they depend upon financing. And the third option that you have is location of business. That is also very significant. However, when you talk about routine workload, it is not like routine workload, it refers to the daily routine that will be followed in your organization. It may not be a factor behind starting a business. Behind starting a business, the other three are the major factors. The routine workload doesn't relate to starting a business Okay, so that is not one of the factor which you consider when you start doing a business. You have to consider what will be the size of my organization, how much finance do I need, how much finance do I have on my own, how much do I have to arrange from outside, and then I have to see the location of the business. That plays a very significant role, because from where I'm going to get raw material, where my location is, it at a prime location, will the customers be able to approach me easily, approach my location easily, transportation will be easier. All of those things need to be taken care of when we decide about the location of the business, and this has to be done in advance. So we need to think in advance about the size of the firm, finance that we need, location of the business. Routine workload, it comes once you start operating your business, the daily activities, the daily operational activities. So this is the first option, is the one which is not a factor behind starting a business. Okay, the next question that we have is, name the two broad categories of business activities. So the two broad categories, the options that are given to you is, first option is trade and commerce, trade and industry, industry and commerce, none of these. So we know that in this chapter, when you study, there is a mind map, there is a diagram which is given to you, which explains you the details about the business activities, and under that you can see that trade and commerce is one option, trade and industry, whereas the correct answer is industry and commerce that you have over here. There is, as I told you, there is a specific diagram which specifies industry, and under industry you have primary, secondary, tertiary, and under primary you have mining, extraction, synthesis, and real estate, and then you have secondary industries, and then you have something called as commerce, under which you have trade and aids to trade, auxiliaries to trade. So the correct answer over here is industry and commerce, and uh, that's the two broad categories of all the business activities that can be considered over here. Okay, the next question relates to commerce includes activities relating to trade and the word commerce, as I told you, that it includes again that same diagram which I told you. There is a diagram in the textbook in which business activities are classified majorly into commerce and trade, and then yeah, so under commerce you have trade, and there is another word, aids to trade or auxiliaries to trade. They are also called as aids to trade or auxiliaries to trade. The option given over here is supporting to trade, subsidiaries to trade, auxiliaries to trade, and none of these. So aids to trade or auxiliaries to trade, that they are the combined word that you should keep in mind always. Trade and auxiliaries to trade, this is one of the important ones that you should keep in mind. Okay, so the correct answer over here is auxiliaries to trade. Trade and auxiliaries to trade are a part of your commerce. Business activities include industry and commerce. That's a tree. If you draw under business activity, you have two bifurcations. One is called as industry and the other one is called as commerce. Under industry you have primary, secondary, tertiary industries, and under commerce you have trade and auxiliaries to trade. Okay, the next question that we have over here is, following are the characteristics of business risks. One of them is not correct. So please identify. You have to identify one of the characteristics of business risk which is not right over here. So the first one is, loss is the reward for risk bearing. That is first thing. Business risks are due to uncertainties. Second option. Third option is, risk is an essential component of every business. And the last one is, degree of risk depends mainly upon the nature and size of business. So these are the four options. Now read out the question carefully. Whenever you get a little long question with long answers as options, with long options as answers, then you must read every statement once again. So here we read out the question once again. It says that following are the characteristics of business risk. So whatever options are given to you, they are the characteristics of business risks. one of them is not correct. Only one of them is not correct. You have to identify that which one is not correct. The first one is loss is the reward for risk bearing. So see, we all know that loss is not the reward for risk bearing. Profit is the reward for risk bearing. That is the right statement. So over here, as soon as you read the statement A, you will get to know that this is the answer. But we will go on to other options as well. Second option we read out is business risks are due to uncertainties. Yes, risk is always associated with uncertainty. The higher risk you bear, the higher are the possibilities of getting or earning higher profits. Then the third point is risk is essential component of every business. Yes, I did tell you that risk is always associated with every business. It is an essential component of every business organization. Let it be small, big, irrespective of any geographical location, it doesn't matter. Every business organization has risks associated with it. And then we have degree of risk depends mainly upon the nature and size of the business. Yes, that is also right. Whatever is the nature of business and the size of business. If the size of business is big, you will have higher risk associated with you. Otherwise, if your size is small, then in that case, the risks associated will also be small. So the correct answer over here, as I told you, it will be A. Loss is the reward is not correct statement. It is, and in fact, it is profit is the reward for risk bearing. That's the correct statement. And since we were asked to identify that which statement is not correct, so we have taken the first one, that is not correct. Now we move on to next question. So transfer of interest exists in the case of, so in which one of these? The four options that are given to you, transfer of interest. You can transfer your share or your interest to someone else is possible in which case? Can a doctor transfer his profession to anybody else just like that? Just think about it. Can he transfer? Can a doctor's son be a doctor only if he wants? No. That doctor's son or daughter, they have to do the MBBS course or the specific course to get the professional degree. So in case of profession, there is no possibility of transferring of interest. Employment, can you offer your employment to anyone else? If you are a software engineer in a company, or if you are a banker, can you just appoint anybody on your place? Can you transfer your position to anybody else with your consent? No, you cannot do that, because that has to be done by the employer. However, in case of business, if a person owns a business, he or she can transfer his or her interest by selling the business to someone else. So the correct option that we feel that we have to select over here is business. In case of business, the transfer of interest is possible. You can sell your business to anybody else, whether they have any qualification or not. It doesn't matter. If they are ready to pay money that you're asking for transferring your interest, you can do it without any problem. If you have the clear title with yourself, you can transfer that ownership or title or interest to someone else if they are ready to pay the amount that you are asking for. So the correct answer over here is answer C, that is business. The next question that we have, okay, the next question that we have over here is, human activities are of one type, two types, three types, or four. So in the beginning, when we started with this question bank, I did tell you that all the human activities, they are classified into economic and non-economic activities. So there itself, I gave you, I gave you the answer. If you concentrate each and every word of mine, then you will be able to relate many of the questions with those. So human activities, they are categorized into economic and non-economic activities. So we can say that the second option is the right one, where only 2 types of activities are there. Yes, so we have this option B as the correct answer, where you have all the human activities categorized into economic and non-economic activities. So the economic activities are the ones that are taken up with the intention to earn profit or money in return, whereas non-economic activities, they are undertaken with the motive of self-satisfaction, motivation, or they never have the intention of earning money in return. Okay, so that is 2 types of human activities we have, economic and non-economic. That's why the option B
Anju,
is
ma'am,
selected over here. Yes, sir.
sorry to interrupt you. Actually, we are running late, so be a little bit fast.
Okay, fine. Okay, so
Thank you.
human activities. Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, so now which one of the following is an economic activity? So a housewife cooking food for her family, a person selling cold water. Actually, it's not cold, it's cold water on the payment. A young boy driving his motorcycle um, in the city, an old man offering prayers in a temple. So, except for activity B, all other activities are taken up for self satisfaction. The second activity, where a boy is selling cold water on the pavement, is with the intention to earn money. So that's why the option B is selected over here, which is an economic activity. Now, the next question that we have is related to the category, as I told you, the second category, that is fill in the blanks. And under fill in the blanks, we have economic. The first question that we have for this under the category of fill in the blanks is like economic activities may be classified into business dash and employment. So we all know that all the economic activities, they are classified into business, profession, and employment. So we have only one keyword as the answer, that is profession. Okay, over here, yes, you might be given sometimes. See, under fill in the blanks also, sometimes you might be given options, sometimes you might not be given the options. We will have all those types of questions one by one under fill in the blanks also, but we will cover them up a little quickly. So over here, the answer A, that is profession, is the correct answer. Now we move on to the next question. The occupation in which people work for others and get remunerated in return is known as, so when people work for others and they get money in return as salary or wages, it is known as employment. So again, over here, you can select the right option as B, that is employment. The next question that we have, it is the economic activity in which specialized knowledge is required. So whenever you need to have a special qualification, special knowledge, that you should always keep in mind that special knowledge and qualification is needed only for profession. So over here, the correct answer that you have will be option A, that is profession. The next question that we have is the reward of a businessman that a businessman gets for bearing the risk is called as, I had already told you, for risk you get profit. So the correct answer is D option, that is profit. Remuneration is paid for employees, commission is paid to agents, bonus is paid to owners, and bonus could also be paid to employees as well, but businessman gets the profit as return. So that's the option that we selected. The next question is taking photographs of mountains as a hobby is dash. So this is another variant of fill in the blanks, where you are given the options. I mean, one of these two you have to select. So here we know that if you're doing something as your hobby, it is not an economic activity, it is a non-economic activity. So the correct answer is non-economic activity. The next one that we have over here is dash is the primary objective of business. So we all know that business has different objectives, primary and secondary. The primary objective is earning profit, and secondary objective is social service and all other benefits that it tries to provide, like satisfaction of human needs and wants, all those. So the primary objective is always profit. You all must keep in mind, primary objective is profit. Now the next question. ABC Limited is planting trees on the roadside. This is just an application kind of question. It is trying to achieve dash objective of the business. So if a company is planting trees on the roadsides, it is not doing it for earning profit, but it is doing a social objective. It is basically serving the society by planting trees and providing them a better pollution-free environment. Okay. The next question that we have is what to. Okay. Okay. The next question that we have is under the category of true and false. So here we have earning of profit is considered to be the subsidiary objective of the business. Is it true or false? Earning of profit is not the subsidiary objective. It is the main objective, primary objective. So the answer is false, because subsidiary objective is social service, social benefits, satisfaction of human needs and wants, but primary objective is to earn profit. Okay, the next question that we have is teaching in a school is a non-economic activity. Is it true or false? So teaching in a school, if you're teaching in a school, you are getting paid for that, you are getting a salary as a for working as a teacher, so it is an economic activity. So this answer is false, because when you teach in a school, you get paid for that, you get a salary for that, and that is an economic activity. The next question that we have is sale of one's ancestral house will not fit into the description of business. If you have an ancestral house and if you want to sell it to someone else, if you sell it to someone else, will it be considered as a profit, as a business? It won't be considered as a business. Why it will not be considered as a business? Because you don't do it on a regular basis. So the answer is true. You don't sell your ancestral house on a regular basis. It could be once in a lifetime, that's all. Once in a lifetime activities are not business activities. Even if you sell it at a profit, it doesn't matter, but the activities which you do only once or twice are not a part of business. Okay, the next question that you have is a business activity may be without profit motive. Is this true or false? No, a business activity cannot be without a profit motive, so the statement is false. Okay, the next question that we have is profit is the reward for risk bearing. Yes, it is true. I've been telling you profit is the reward for risk bearing. The next question that we have is earning profit is the sole objective of business. No, earning profit is the primary objective, but it is not the sole objective. We do have other objectives as well, such as social objective. So the statement is false. Earning profit is not the sole objective of the business. It is one of the objectives of the business. The next question that we have is risk is an essential element of every business activity. Yes, it is true that risk is an essential element of every business activity. So here we have true. Uh, Trade between two countries is known as internal trade. Again, this one I had explained you in one of the MCQs as well. So the trade between two countries is not known as internal trade. It is called as international trade, or it is called as foreign trade. So this statement is false. Actually, it is called as international trade or foreign trade. The next question is conversion of cotton into cloth is an example of generic industry. Now, sometimes under true false also you might be asked to give a reason that why it is or why it is not. So over here, when you are asked that conversion of cotton into cloth, is it a generic industry? So the answer is false, because when you convert cotton into cloth, it is not generic industry. It is again manufacturing industry. It comes to second type. You're getting cotton from nature. That could be generic, but this one, converting into cloth is not generic. It is manufacturing. The next type of questions that we have over here is match the following. So here you are given like 4 options are given to you, and along with that 4 options, you have some sub options to be matched. So if you read it out, it says match the following: removes the hindrance of knowledge, removes the hindrance of place, removes the hindrance of time, and removes the hindrance of risk. So risk can be removed using insurance. Okay, same way, this time hindrance can be place hindrance can be removed using transportation. Any of the transportation means you can reach from one place to another. So you have to see, you have to make out that option 4 relates to C option, and then option second relates to B option. So that way you can make out, there will be you can make out the matching. So removing hindrance of knowledge is done with the help of advertising. When people see advertisements, when consumers see advertisements, they enhance their knowledge, they enhance their knowledge about products, the features, the price, the quality, and all that. And then using transport, you can remove hindrance of place. Using warehousing, where you can store your goods, you can overcome the hindrance of time. You can keep your things in a warehouse, and then whenever you need it, you can take them out. And risk can be reduced with the help of insurance. So this is how matching has to be done. Another question that I have for match the following is trade between countries. It is called as import. It could be import. Then extraction, production, and processing. It is a part of industry. Goods imported and then exported. If you import and then export it back, that is called as entrepot. And the dash removes the hindrance of time. In the previous question itself, I told you warehousing removes the hindrance of time. So that is how you have to rate. First one relates to B, second one relates to D, third one relates to C, and fourth one relates to D. So this is how we move on. Now the last category of questions that I have over here is descriptive types. These could be one word, this could be one word or some small word, combination of words, or just maximum one sentence. So now name one economic pursuit in which expertise is required. So where do you need expertise? It is profession where you need expertise. So the correct answer over here is only one word answer, which is profession. The next question that you have over here is name the industries that furnish support to other fellow industries. The industries which help other industries are called as tertiary industries. They are the service industries. Then the next question that we have is, can fishing be contemplated as primary industry? It is related directly to nature. So yes, it can be contemplated as a primary industry. What is the reward that businessman earns for bearing risk? It is profit. Everybody, by now, all of you should by heart it, that businessman bears risk and he gets profit in return. Under which type of industry do oil, refinery, and sugar mills are classified? So they fall under the category of secondary industries. Then if a person sells his or her domestic TV at a profit, will it be considered as a business? Why? It will not be a business because he's not doing it on a regular or continuous basis. But if the same person's open the showroom and he starts selling television regularly in that showroom, then that becomes his business. Okay, give an example of an activity in which is economic in one sense and non-economic in other sense. So here, if a teacher is teaching in school, teaching by a teacher in school is economic activity, and if the same teacher is teaching in at home his or her own children, that is non-economic activity. Same way, if a chef is working in a hotel, that is an economic activity, and the same chef, if he is cooking food for his family members at home, is non-economic activity. Why is mining called a primary industry? Because it is concerned with the extraction of natural resources. So as I told you, that the descriptive questions could be one word, few words, or they could be one sentence answers. This is all I have from my end relating to these questions. The various references that I have used are business studies, NCERT textbook, business studies by Sandeep Garg, business studies by Subhash Day, from Divine Publications, and Sandeep Garg is from Sultan Chand Publications, as far as I remember. And then I have used some CBSE portals as well. And before I end up my session, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. I have my own personal channel, that is Everest Educational Services, and there you can get some lectures or recordings related to whatever is happening around us, or some of the chapters that we have for 11th grade, 12th grade, business studies, accountancy, entrepreneurship. So those are, and then some of the webinars that we are conducting, like Atmanirbhar we organized a business plan competition as well. So for that also there was a workshop conducted. So I have those recordings on my channel. I would request you all to subscribe to my channel, that is Everest Educational Services. That's all for today. Thank you one and all. Thank you One Mark Solutions for providing me a platform over here to for this wonderful webinar. Thank you, Asad sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful webinar, and definitely, सीमा मैम आपका म्यूट है.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I also learn a lot because in my schooling and my graduation, I was a science student. So today only I got the opportunity to listen like that commerce got all the questions and yes, in a very nice way. Attend your webinar, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope it
This
was useful for students also.
yeah, and these classes will be recorded and children can refer these classes anytime. Those who are not able to attend the classes, this webinar. So this will be shared to in the chat box and they will attend it later on also. So those who has given the correct answer, those students has and once again, I would like to thank you, ma'am, from One Mark Solution and our viewers, our students. And certainly, it needs a lot of efforts to this session very nicely. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Asad
Oh,
sir. Thank you, Seema ma'am.
oh, yeah, thank you, Seema ma'am, for hosting this session. And children, I'm posting a live feedback link in the live chat box. You can attempt it, and if you will be able to correct 4 questions out of 10, definitely you are going to get a printable certificate. All the best to all of you. Kindly attempt the feedback and. Once again, I would like to thank Madam Dr. Anju Pramod Dubey ji for accepting our invitation and Madam Seema for hosting this session. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.